For joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus. WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is committed to your safety with 6 hours of continuous team coverage.
This is a relentless storm, Dave.
We're fortunate we all made it out alive.
And our network of sky cams across the state alerting you to danger, bringing you live footage of tornadoes as they touch down in Wathau County.
Look at this, Chase. Guys, look at that.
This is ground zero almost. I mean, this is really hard to stomach, like I said.
We take our commitment to being on your side seriously, and together we're Mississippi Strong. Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Thanks for joining us for WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
Yep.
Happy Tuesday evening. We have some changes finally on the way.
Yeah, the computers are being a little slow for a second. Ooh, it looks like somebody.
There it goes.
Yeah, I think somebody might have been looking at the computer in the weather center. But either way,
in any event,
yeah,
big thing to talk about, and that is some stormy weather returning to the forecast.
Yeah,
finally.
And we can see that we have even an outlook for severe weather tomorrow across pretty much the entire state. And the computer is kind of glitching up. See, it's acting weird. I don't know if that's translating over to the screen as well.
I don't think it does translate to the screen.
Okay,
but
good. But yeah, it's being a little funny,
sometimes.
but you can see the picture. We have a marginal risk. That's level 1 out of 5. So that means only isolated reports expected. Thankfully, this is not a widespread high-end severe weather event by any means. But there is a risk, so enough for the Storm Prediction Center to issue this outlook. The main threats, just strong damaging wind gusts that we could see with a line of storms for your Wednesday. But it's been a minute since we did have one of those outlooks, so it's important to look at. Keep in mind that we're going to get a cold front, and this one a little bit stronger than a lot of the ones that we have seen so far.
Yeah, so I do want to point out here, this is our tornadic supercell potential. You notice there was a lot of color going on our Tuesday, and that's why there's a higher risk for today. There's really not much for tomorrow, so we're not expecting to see any spin ups from this system. I just wanted to point that out because I know it's getting to fall severe weather season, and you might start to get a little anxious if you have some storm anxiety. Right now, even though it's in that prime spot, we're only seeing severe thunderstorm warnings with this system for the moment, so that's good news.
Yeah,
we would expect to see
northern Arkansas.
Yeah, we would expect to see some of that here in central Mississippi as well, but they're going to be, again, like I said, much more isolated in nature once the system gets to us.
Yeah, right now we're only seeing some isolated showers here in the central Mississippi area. I put the question mark on that white box because sometimes, when we have a confirmed tornado, it turns out white. So I was like, what is that? That's just flash flooding. But we have a pretty low risk for that. We haven't seen much rain lately. We're seeing a few showers here. Now it seems like from Lincoln County down towards Pike County or the southern part of Copiah as well. And also in Vicksburg and Sequina County, you're seeing some of that rain, just light showers. We're not expecting anything heavy. But the more active weather expected to move in heading into your Wednesday. Starting off in the morning, we will be pretty calm, mostly dry, some stray showers possible, mostly just cloud cover. But that line of showers already entering into north Mississippi for the first half of the day. But then we expect those pop-up showers and storms here in central Mississippi later on, and they become more organized towards the afternoon. So where we see these lines starting to try to form, that's our main threat for severe weather, kind of closer to the 3 o'clock period. So that kind of lines up perfectly with, unfortunately, the commute home from school and later on to work, where we actually see the peak for strong thunderstorms. So it's going to be important to keep that in mind tomorrow, that we could see some kind of active weather. Potentially it would be a hairy situation for some heavy rainfall, strong wind gusts possible. So definitely keep that in mind. Check the radar before your commute and be sure to drive safely tomorrow, heading home from school and work. But heading into the evening hours, overnight, it's looking calm. Thankfully, the storms do definitely die down by around sunset.
Yeah. And then as we head into Thursday, I've kept an isolated chance for a passing shower or two, maybe 1 or 2 thunderstorms, because there's some potential that it takes a minute for the dry air to come in and clear out that chance for rain. But it really looks like Thursday is going to end up being mostly dry, a little bit breezy and comfortable, especially compared to what we've been seeing, which is highs in the mid and upper 90s for the last 5 days.
Oh, yeah. Definitely been hot getting outside the door, and pretty humid as well. We saw the heat index value actually did reach triple digits in some spots for our peak daytime heating this afternoon. So we're definitely welcoming this cooler weather. And even if we do see for our next 7 days, our rain chances, of course, they peak tomorrow. If we even do see some stray showers early Thursday, they're definitely not going to be nearly as strong as Wednesday afternoon. After that initial line that kind of forms together in late afternoon, after that, our severe potential is pretty much none. And even with that line, it's still fairly low. We could just see isolated reports of strong wind gusts. And then after that, we are drying out for the extended forecast.
Yeah. There's really not going to be much else to say, but I think everybody's going to be in a little bit of a better mood saying it, because it won't be 95 degrees. It'll be 10 degrees cooler in theory. And it will feel better too, because we won't have as much of that mugginess in the air. We got a lot of people on our Facebook chat this evening. We'll say hi to some. Melissa and Sheikah, both in the house. They're always here with us. We thank you guys for joining us. Randy Arnold, Lamont Patterson, Bessie Sanders, and Britt also here, and Sissy Arnold. So thanks you guys for listening to our First Alert forecast here on WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
Yeah.
So fun. If you missed anything, this stays up on Facebook. You can rewind it if you're watching somewhere else. I'm not sure if you can rewind it, but you can go look on our WLBT weather Facebook page. Sydney Johnson is asking about the tornado threat for tomorrow. Again, we went over that. It's not looking likely. What is likely is that we see potentially some damaging wind gusts. If anything does become severe, that's going to be the main concern.
Yeah.
Especially as these storms move in maybe a linear fashion. So a line of storms pushing in, the leading edge of that's where we're going to see some of those potentially damaging wind gusts. We'll, of course, be here tracking it the whole time. And the good news is this is a daytime event, so you're not going to have to worry about severe storms when you're trying to get ready to go to bed tonight or tomorrow night.
Yes. So we're definitely not really concerned about the tornado risk. That's not what's driving this. Mainly those gusts. Potentially, we could have isolated instances of hail. Otherwise, flooding and tornado threats, that is not what we are really looking at for tomorrow, thankfully. So you can rest assured with that. However, afternoon time, just keep in mind, if you're heading home from work, that's really the main concern, that you could get caught up in kind of a gusty storm, and that can slow traffic a lot, and that can kind of damage visibility or decrease kind of
even
driving.
the rain itself is going to be able to decrease your visibility. So if you get into some blinding rain, just slow down. Be prepared to take your evening commute home slow, the kids home from school commute slow, maybe even the lunchtime commute in some places if you're going to head out for a bite to eat, because we could already see some relatively widespread activity between noon and 1 o'clock. So that's going to be the primary factor, is the rain as you get out on the roads. Otherwise, I'll have more details for you and on WLBT News tonight at 10. And then we'll be here tracking this system as it moves in tomorrow.